Okay, everyone, this is Red with RedDragonLeo.com. This is part 2. The first part of this was the Law of Equilibrium by my friend Ali, who's a mathematician, I guess you would call him, and a teacher as well in Iran, or Iran, depending on how you pronounce it. The, tomato, you get it. So anyway, this part here is going to be about the past history with Legatus and turns in the stock market. So what we're going to do right here is go over the past meetings that I was able to remember and have some type of screenshot showing the dates. I missed a couple of them, so I don't know what there were a couple in let's see here. I think there was one in probably one in late 2010 that I missed, and one in early 2011, but I can't find those dates. And you know, you can't really go back to Legatus and ask them about the prior meetings. I actually tried to find that on their site, Google it, but I couldn't find it. So anyway, so the first one, of course, is the 2008 crash. Now, I'm not going to go into detail about that. I was not even following the market at that point. I mean, it got me interested when it crashed at that point, but pretty much I kind of started this blog in 2009, and by 2010 I'd seen my first fake print and learned about Legatus, and I'll give credit to Reinhardt for catching that and exposing Legatus as their meeting. So, and he is over at Enterprise Corruption, which is right here on the right, by the way, in the Enterprise Corruption there. That is his site. He is the one who had figured out Reinhardt right here. He had put the pieces together that when these gangsters are ready to pay for something huge, they'll, he calls it debasing the market, but I just call it crashing or correcting, depending upon how deep it goes. So right now, I don't think he has mentioned anything. I haven't seen anything on his site indicating that he thinks that we're going to even have a correction this coming Legatus meeting. So we, you know, it's still iffy on that. The big reason that I thought we would have one was the raising of the debt ceiling. That originally was set for February 30th, then they backed it up to February 15th. And I thought, oh yeah, now we got, to me, a 95% chance of a big sell-off after Legatus. Then they went and passed the bill to extend it in Congress, and they put it out to, I think, May the 19th, from what I've seen online. Of course, that could change. And it just, I think it just recently went through the Senate as well without any delay. So that really leaves us without a catalyst, which is some type of event tied in with the timing of Legatus and tied in with you know, overbought charts, massively overbought. We got that, but you know, you got seasonality. You got all these factors that you got to put together in order to give you the best odds of it being an important turn. And you know, we don't always have that. So this, unfortunately, when they changed that, that really dropped the odds for me to see a big correction. You know, I call a big correction a 10% move down. So for that reason, you know, for 10% down, I'm giving it a 50% chance. And that is only if we also time it and hit a double top at 1574 by next Monday the 11th, which is the first day after the Legatus meeting, or the 12th. Now the 11th is a ritual daily 11, but there's one of those every month. There's one on the 11th, there's one on the 22nd, and then there's one on the 29th. And for those of you new, the Illuminati like their number 11. It's a master number for them, so any combinations of numbers that are divisible by 11 are master numbers. You don't divide them, and they essentially equal 11. That means 11, 30, or 11, 22, 33, 44, 55, etc. And then also numbers that add up to an 11 are 11 days as well. So the 29th, 2 plus 9 equals 11. So you got 3 of those every month. But you also have, on top of that, you have what I like to call yearly 11 dates, and those are periods where all the digits added together equal an 11. That is the case for February the 12th, because that's a second month, that's a 2, and then a 1 plus 2, that equals 5. Then the year is 2, 0, 1, 3. That's 2 plus 1 plus 3 equals 6, and then so you got your 5 and your 6 that equals 11. Those 2 dates are the dates I'm looking for a top. Now, that we need to see a double top at that time. We really do. We need to see a double top. If we don't have a double top, I'm not that confident on this sell-off. So my criteria is that we must have a double top somewhere around that period, 1574 or something like that. And it's probably going to be after Legatus is over with, and that is this February 7th through 9th. And at that point, I'll go out on a limb here and say we got about a 75% to see a 5% correction, which would be basically, if you hit 1574, that's 10% is 157 points. Half of that is, I don't know, 78 points or something like that, which basically drops you right back to around 1500, where we just went below today. Now, today's a little bit of sell-off. And then I'll give it a 95% chance that we get at least a 1 to 2% correction, just clearly from the fact that double tops rarely ever just, you hit them and you just pierce right on through and keep on going. You always, 95% of the time, I'll put it that way, you will hit a double top that is a long-term, significant double top, and we'll just show you that. You hit them and you back off. I mean, at least for a small pullback before you go back up again. We do have to keep in mind, though, they are clearly showing all the signs, and here it is right here on the monthly chart. That is actually 1576 on the actual high. I thought it was 1574, but okay, in any case, so you can see right there 15, okay, so that line's a little bit off, but the actual high there is 1576. Probably should move that line up a little bit to the actual high. And now there it is to 1578. Okay, so there you go. There's your target. So if they can get up to there before the 11th or 12th of next week, then we've got a good shot at having a sell-off just from the fact that you got a double top. It's rare that you go right through it. You just don't do that. So that, just based on a technical analysis part of it, we should see that sell off. If it times out with Legatus at the same time, then we got a good chance. I said 75%. We'll see a 5% drop. And I only say that for this reason. This is clearly looking like a crash year. You've got Gary, the numbers guy, out there saying, numerology-wise, it's a year of the snake. It is, I think he said the year of the snake. Yes. Maybe correct me if I'm wrong with that, but in any case, it is a crash year. Let's see, you have prior crash years that were the same were 1987, 1929. They were all the same years. So, this is clearly I swear I don't think it's a snake now. I do apologize if I'm wrong on that. Last year was the year of the dragon, and this year is a different one. But let's move on. Whatever year it is, that's for Gary. But he is on top of that. Same thing with Ali and his forecast. Based upon his cycle work, pinpoints May. Ironically, he says late May. Well, May the 19th is when they put that not fiscal cliff, but that debt ceiling issue postponed to. He sees basically wave 1 down, and I call it Elliott wave terminology. he calls it a crash wave down basically, and a collapse wave in late August or September. So I definitely agree with that. Everything else says that that's the case, that we're going to do just that. So if we move on here, I know I'm getting off here, track here, but I did want to go over some of these different dates that we had here. So let's look at this. Let's see. Okay, the very first one was, let's start with October 10th through the 19th, 2009. That one was a brief turn down for 2 weeks, and then it continued rallying. So that one was a non-important one on the October 10th to the 19th, 2009. We can look at that real quickly with the charts, and obviously not all Legatus meetings are turn dates. I want to make that a point. You have to line it up with other events. So October the 9th, okay, right here, October. Okay, so it looks like you had a 1-2 week downturn and then a continuation move. You didn't really get much out of that Legatus meeting. So I kind of call it a dud. This is a weekly chart, obviously, and it shows that week, the week of 10-12, which has been right after Legatus, and then it just went down for 2 weeks, which is basically a dud in my book. The next one after that, let's see, was January the 11th when I found my first fake print. Okay, I'm going to show you that. Here it is. In case you haven't seen it and you're new, it shows 47. By the way, 4 plus 7 equals 11, and then 11, so you got 11 there. And it actually showed up on 1/11, January 11, 2010. It's kind of hard to see there, but that's what it did. The market traded in about a 6-point range then, but it actually showed it dropping 97 points. So you actually look at that date, you will see what happened. So let's look at that date very quickly. January the 11th, 2010. It's right here. It was this week right here. And that is 1/1 when it showed up. And then you had 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks. It bottomed at 10:44.50. So if you look up in the left-hand corner, you'll see it up right out here, folks. Look over here when I'm hovered over it. And you'll see it bottomed. Actually, the low was 10:44.50. So it pierced it a little bit on momentum and went through it. And that, of course, was, again, it showed, what did it show? 10:47. And that was right in the middle of a Legatus meeting. That was right in the middle. That was February the 5th, and it was right in the middle of that one. So then they rallied from there on out. So that was a very accurate one. I give that 100%. There was a miss here on, let's see, which is, oh, no, this one wasn't a miss. Okay, October 13th through the 23rd. Right after that meeting, on the 26th, was when we actually had our high, I believe, and started selling off. So that was right here. Let's see. Nope. Where you at? Nope. October 2011. Okay, right here this week, right here, you can see we put in our high on the 24th. Right there, if you again look over here to the left, on this weekly chart, you can see we put in a high. Closed out that week on the 24th at a high, and then we sold off 1, 2, 3, 4 weeks. Produced a nice downturn on that one. That was accurate. Then we have February the 2nd through the 12th. It turned out to be a dud. I won't even go with the chart because I'm kind of running out of time. The next meeting, April the 30th through May the 2nd, of course, was 100% accurate. If you look at that, and that was last year, 2012, and we'll go with the daily chart on that one. And again, not all terms are. I'm running out of time. God, I hate these 15 minutes. These videos. This stinks. Okay. Here we are right here. October or April 2nd was the actual high. Wave 1 down, back up into May the 1st, and boom, you had a nice wave 3 down that produced a nice sell-off. That's very accurate. The other one past that was the one in October, and it actually peaked on October the 18th. It sold off the Friday before that and sold off. So these are pretty accurate, folks. I'm running out of time again, but they're pretty accurate. So As for Legatus, I've showed you what I'm thinking for next week. That's it, guys. Thanks.